Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a vintage 1982 Zippo Slim windproof lighter. Commemorating the 50 years of Olan Mills, the Nation Studio. Now, I don't know how many of you grew up in the 70s and 80s like I did, but if you did, and you lived in the middle part of America, and your mother liked to have family photos taken on a regular basis, then you are probably familiar with Olan Mills. Olan Mills was founded in 1932, so the same year as the Zippo Manufacturing Company. And they took family portraits, produced church directories, things like that. They've apparently now been out of business for at least the last 4 years. The last store, according to Google, closed in 2019, but the company had been bought back in 2011 from another company, so had likely really been out of business for longer than that. Just a couple of examples. They would set you on stools or boxes and arrange you in a particular order. They always had backdrops to put behind you to make it look like you were in an interesting place rather than just a cutout box store in the middle of a strip mall right in the middle of town. So there was no creek behind my dad, my brother, and myself here. Nor were there any bushes behind us in this photograph. But that was the kind of thing they did. They put backdrops up. There might have been a wagon wheel, other different kinds of props sitting around the room, bright lights. And the photo I really wanted to find to include in this video was one, probably the last time we ever went there as a family. It was actually, I believe my son was born by then. So it was just the four of us and my son, who was and maybe an infant, maybe not even a toddler yet. And we waited and waited and waited, and that was the bad thing about Olan Mills. You waited for a long time. It was worse than going to the doctor's office or the ER back at that time. And it was obvious in this photograph by the time we got back there and had it taken, because even my son, the baby, was not smiling. Only my mother had a smile in this photo. So I'll have to update this if I ever do locate that photo. But for now, you'll just have to have a good laugh at me and some of my younger ages there. Now the lighter is in very good condition. You can see it came in its original box back there. That when I showed that, I believe, the paperwork in the unboxing video for this lighter, Jen Kim confirmed that that was the proper paperwork. I could be confusing that with a different one. We'll see here in a minute. I didn't open that paperwork up when I put this all out to make this video. So there may be some hairline scratches, scuffs, that kind of thing, but any damage to this lighter is going to be very minimal. Wick is new, no dust, very minimal scratching on the insert. See, just a little bit right there. Not eaten up with them like you usually see though. And the Flint tube is clear. It had a new Flint in it when I got it, so I didn't even have to clean up the old degraded Flint or anything like that in this one. was simply wiping it off, cleaning it up, and actually I've had it for a while. I intended to make this video much sooner, but you guys know how busy I've been with the aluminum block lighters lately. Looks like that has been grooved, maybe way back then. That Flint may have been in there since 1982. So clear Flint tube. Clean felt pad. Clean underneath. So a very nostalgic piece, and one, like I said, I'm pretty much lived my entire life in the state of Oklahoma, besides a few months here or there. And I'm sure it was no different whether you lived in Ohio or Tennessee or Texas, Missouri, especially anywhere around this region. I know that there are people out there who have memories of Olan Mills. So pretty cool lighter, even if the times that I spent there were not, they didn't feel real cool at the time. Was not a fan of sitting there waiting to be called back to the back. They had more than one room, but it didn't seem like they had more than one person taking pictures. And this is a little bit different paperwork than some of the others I've seen. And this is the paperwork that has the instructions for dealing with vapor lock. When using your Zippo lighter indoors, open the lid and raise the lighter upward before flicking the wheel. See illustration. This upward movement eliminates gas lock, which could prevent lighting on the first zip. That's funny how they're calling it the first zip. Zippo lighters do not self-extinguish. You must close the lid to put the flame out. Do not drop when lit. So there you go. There's Zippo telling you back in 1982 how to deal with vapor lock. Pretty cool. Really nice, nostalgic piece of ephemera there. This box seems a little bit more, not fragile, but it doesn't seem like as strong a box as the other white boxes I've seen, the ones from the 1970s. Not as good a quality, I don't believe, by that point. And then there's some more warnings. It's just a one-sided paper there that gives you some warnings about extinguishing the flame and whatever. I guess that was kind of that era's warning sticker. So really nothing to do here like we normally like to as far as lighting the lighter. It's brand new. We're not going to light it. We're not going to put any more wear on it than we have to. It is as in mint condition as any lighter that I've ever owned. And you can find it soon in our eBay store. Until next time.